Good evening, everyone. You are watching the Just Keep Up podcast, where we're one step ahead. I'm Kurt Johnson. This is Pete Zindros. We're excited to be back to you guys here on Saturday with a special edition show for you guys. So, down the Marco for us for being with you guys on Saturday. We apologize, guys. We usually do Fridays. Bunch of stuff came up where we're here with you guys on a Saturday. We have a jam-packed episode, guys. Lots to talk about, lots to get into. Our feature story, we're going to be talking all about the New York Jets win and Garrett Wilson's insane generational catch. So that's going to be our feature story tonight and what we think the Jets are going to accomplish this season. Are the Jets back? We'll see. We're also going to get a little bit into Deontay Johnson has been traded to the Ravens. So just his impact we think he's going to have on the Ravens. Then that'll be about half of the show. The second half of the show, we're going to switch and talk about NBA. So we're going to talk about the Nuggets and the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves beat the Nuggets 119-116. We're going to talk a lot about that game, guys, about individual players, about, certain spots during that game and etc. So that's going to be a good topic there. And then we're going to top off the show by talking about Joel Embiid and his comments. He originally was saying, little comments like, I'm never going to play in back-to-back games anymore for the rest of my career. Things like that. He's going to take weeks off on end to get rest. So L there for Joel Embiid. And then he follows it up by saying, he's done too much for the city of Philly to be treated this way.
Bro, what have you done?
Yeah, bro, well, what has he done? He's done absolutely nothing. And I know we're going to get into that a little later, but, if I go on a little monologue here, isn't this the problem with society in general, is delusional people thinking that they've done more than what they have done?
And in reality, they've done nothing.
What has he done? He's won one MVP. He's been hurt in the playoffs or has tremendously underperformed. Mm-hmm. What has he done for Philly at all?
Literally nothing.
He hasn't even gotten to an Eastern Conference Finals. So so it's just an L, bro. So it's just an L, bro. But yeah, guys, and then I have a big announcement to make at the end of the show, guys. So stay tuned for that. A big announcement's gonna come at the end of the show. So yeah, big show, guys. Lots to talk about, lots to get into. It's gonna be a great show tonight. So we're happy to be back here with you guys on Saturday. I'm gonna remind you, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Help us to impact and to reach as many people as we possibly can. And guys, we also do appreciate you guys' feedback. We've had a lot of feedback in the last week, so I'm gonna give a Don DeMarco for you guys, man. A Don DeMarco for you guys. You guys have definitely helped us out a bunch in how we want to change the direction of the show, how we want to implement certain things. So big announcement towards the end, but we do appreciate you guys. We love you. We appreciate you guys. But for those of you that are just joining in, welcome. And, again, help us to impact and to reach as many people as possible. So definitely like and subscribe. Before we get into the show, bro, do you have anything?
No.
All right, sounds good, guys. So yeah, guys, I want to jump right into our featured story. As we know, the Jets beat the Texans yesterday. And, Garrett Wilson had, probably one or two in terms of the greatest catches we've ever seen. So just specifically, what's your take on that tremendous catch from Garrett Wilson?
It was amazing, man. If Odell Beckham never made that catch a decade ago, this would probably be looked at as arguably the greatest catch of all time, because it's literally the same exact type of catch. The only difference is we've seen it up to now and plenty more times at that, once Odell Beckham made it, it kind of changed the game where a bunch of guys started doing one-hand snacks. But the way Garrett Wilson caught it, that was probably the best one that I've seen since Odell Beckham. So that's why I think if Odell Beckham didn't exist, that would probably be the greatest catch of all time.
Yeah, I agree, bro. I think that was an insane catch. I think The only reason why I think this Garrett Wilson catch is so great is obviously the catch was great. You have the Jordan logo, right? Like it was a tremendous catch. But it was also the urgency that catch was needed. Like the Jets were searching for something to keep their season alive. And I think that is what kept their season alive. I think for them to go down, march down the field, they had nothing to be happy about. In the first half throughout the season, they had nothing to cheer about. And that catch right there rejuvenated their offense. It rejuvenated the team, the fan base. And I think in a broader aspect, the National Football League, I mean, we've been waiting to see a Jets performance like this since week 3 against the Patriots. Mm-hmm. Or, I think week 3 or 4.
Yeah, it was week 3.
Yeah, so we've been waiting to see this performance from the Jets. And Garrett Wilson, with that catch, not only wasn't an insane catch, but I think he also caught the hearts and the attention of Jets fans. Mm-hmm. So that was just the magnitude of that catch was absolutely amazing. And then going back to the actual catch, I mean, to catch that thing one-handed and then to have your shin down, it was absolutely incredible. I mean, I don't think it was better than the Odell one, only because Odell had to reach back out of bounds to grab it, and then he also grabbed it with 3 fingers, essentially. So I don't think it was better than the Odell one, but when you factor in the importance of that catch, I mean, bro, just unbelievable, bro. And then, as well, for him to come back like that after a couple weeks ago, we all know he was bad. He was bad. Mm-hmm. And so to respond like that, I mean, it was absolutely amazing. So Don DeMarco for Garrett Wilson, man, that was wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. Like you said, minimum, that was the greatest catch we've seen in a decade.
Yeah,
minimum.
It was.
That was insane. And there was no question about did he catch it or not. Like, he caught it.
Yeah.
So, that was amazing. But stemming off of that, are the Jets back?
I don't want to say they're back just yet. I feel like, they were playing a banged-up Texans team at home. They had to win that one. I mean, they had to win last week against the Patriots, and they didn't. This was pretty much a similar situation. The only difference was it wasn't a divisional game. So this one was like one where it's like, okay, we have to win this or our season is just straight up over. Watching the first half of that game, the Jets had 0 points, but they should have had a touchdown. That random, I don't even know who that is.
It was Malachi Corey.
Yeah, I don't even know who that is, but yeah, for whatever reason, he thought he was in, and he started celebrating too early, and they called it a touchback instead. So that costed them 7 points, but luckily it had no impact in the game overall. Thank God. The Jets played an amazing second half. Yeah, Garrett Wilson had 2 great catches, and one of them was arguably the greatest catch of all time, and they were both touchdowns. Devontae played a pretty good game. Aaron Rodgers played good in the second half. Yeah, the second half they played really good. As far as the first half goes, all they had was that one drive which Malachi fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, bro. I mean, are the Jets back? The Jets are back, bro. The Jets are back, bro. Okay? I'm going to be honest. And you guys know I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan. I'm not a Jets fan. I'm a Packers fan, but I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan. I love him. He's the reason why I fell in love with the game is watching the Packers and watching him play. So this is coming from a little bit of a biased standpoint. But here's what I will say that's not biased and that's not arguable. We all believe in morale. We all believe in it. We all know it's in every locker room. We all know it's in every team. And the morale from the players and the way that they're talking, this ensued confidence in them. If you look at the Jets' schedule, they have a very light schedule. The only team that they face above 500 is the Bills, and they face them one more time. And we already know divisional games are tough games. That's the only team that they play for the remaining 9 games that are above 500. They're the only team. So, all they needed was the confidence. Bro, this is a crazy stat that shows that the Jets are 3-6, and their margin of points is only 10. And that's including the Steelers blowout.
Yeah, I mean, we
know. Bro, like that,
yeah.
They're playing these games very close.
Yeah, we see the scores, but I mean, most of these games are by 7 points or less. That's how that's what most of their losses were, other than that Steelers game. Like, was 3-point losses, 6-point losses.
A
You know, like
1 point loss.
yeah, like they're right there every week. You know, I mean, it's just about trying to clean up the little things. But yeah, I mean, after getting blown out by the Steelers and then just losing to the Patriots, it's just like, okay, like this has to be the week, or else this is it.
Yeah.
This is it.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think we all agreed that, if they don't win this, they fall to 2-7. Even Rodgers said it, like 2-6, you win a game, you win another one, you're 4-6. You start to have some belief. But if you fall to 2-7, it's kind of like that's it. That's it. I mean, we're even seeing talks with the Dolphins, and they're like, yo, if we lose this game, we fall to 2-6. Tua's gonna take a couple more weeks to get his feet under him. Maybe we blow it up. We're all arguing that the Bengals season is on the line right now in their game against the Raiders this Sunday. So, there's a lot of teams in this same predicament that we view are pretty good teams.
Yeah, and mind you, the Bengals are 3-5, and they're saying if we lose, this could be our season. So if they lose, they would be 3-6, which is what the Jets are. So they're basically saying if we lose 6 games, we're cooked.
Right.
Yeah.
But also, I do think, like I say, bro, this is why I started my argument by saying I think morale is a big deal. I think if the Bengals lose and fall to 3-6, they're not the same 3-6 as the Jets feel. Like, they're the same 3-6 record, but morale-wise, the Jets are like, we have everything we need right here. Whereas the Bengals are like, dang, we lost another one. We lost last week by 20 points at home. Like, it's just, it's a different feeling. And so, I think, for the Jets, I think they are back, and I think it's how they got there as well, because they faced a lot of adversity during the game. As Pete eloquently mentioned, Malachi Corley decided idiotically to just drop the ball short of the end zone. You can't have those mistakes when you're trying to get out of a losing streak. They have a roughing the kicker called on a punt, which they now have. The other team, the Texans, had a first down now, took the ball away from the offense. They had another roughing the kicker. Luckily, it turned out in their favor because the guy ended up missing the field goal closer. But still, those are 3 things right there where it's like you can't have those mistakes. So for them to have those and still kind of win the game because the offense in the second half was just, explosive. Aaron Rodgers in the second half was 15 of 17, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Perfect quarterback rating. So, I don't expect him to play like that and obviously moving forward. But if he could not have, in his own words, the worst half of his entire career, if he could not have that and have the second half that he had, the Jets are in very, very good position, bro. I don't think there's one team other than, let me not say that. I think the Jets are a top 5 talent roster. I think there's only a couple more talented rosters. Like, the one that comes to mind automatically is the Lions and the Packers. Those are 2 that jump off the book. But there's not much, there's not much teams that are more talented than them, bro. So the last thing that they were missing was morale. That was the last thing that they were missing, and they seem to have found that in this game. So I do think the Jets season has turned around with this. They have a game against Arizona next week. They have a game against the Colts. They have a bye. And then I think they have a game against another, I think Miami. And so those are winnable games. If you win those games, bro, there's another stat, guys. The last thing I'll say, and then we'll move on, is the Jets have had a brutal schedule, bro. They played they played the most games out of anyone, and they played the quickest games out of anyone, and they had the least time to heal within games. So they're all banged up. Guess how many games they play in the month of November?
How many?
2.
Really? That's it?
They play 2 games in the month of November, bro, because everyone plays Sunday, which is the month of November. They already played their first game, which is October. Yeah, so they play another game next week, which is the 10th. They have a bye, and then they play 1 game on like the 20-something. So that's going to be their second game. So they play 2 games in November. And so they have plenty of time to get healthy. They have plenty of time to rest their older guys. Rodgers, they have a bunch of guys who are injured. So get those guys ready to go. They'll have rest leading up to the final push. So with all that being said, bro, light schedule like we talked about.
Yeah, I think
the Jets are back, man.
Not playing much, though. You never know. That could be a bad thing for them. A lot of teams, lose their momentum when they don't play much.
That's true.
It could be a bad thing at the same time. You never know.
That's true, but I feel like that would only be bad if they were on like a winning streak and everybody was feeling good and everybody was like, no, it was very clear. The Jets have everything that they need. It was a morale issue, bro. It was the fact of getting over that 5-game losing streak. Now that they got that win, people are feeling good about themselves. Now everybody get healthy because, bro, they have like Alan Lazard is out with the chest. DJ Reed was banged up. CJ Mosley was banged up. Sauce Gardner was banged up. Like, these are crucial guys that they're the best players at their position. So if they get healthy, bro, which they will, they only play 2 games in November. That's crazy. So they're definitely going to get a break. So I like their chances, bro. So shout out to the Jets, bro. I think the Jets are back. I think, I like their chances. So, but yeah, I want to move on, guys. I want to get into Deontay Johnson and his impact we think he's going to have on the Ravens. The Ravens are 5-3. So just what's your take on, the trade and his impact you think he's going to have with the Ravens?
It's definitely big for sure. Definitely big. I mean, he's a talented wide receiver. He's not a star, but he is a pretty talented receiver. Now on the offense, as far as weapons go, Lamar has Derrick Henry, Mark Andrews, Zay Flowers, Deontay Johnson. I mean, it's now or never, really. I mean, Derrick Henry's 30 years old. We don't know if he's even going to be good next season. I mean, Lamar's biggest strength, as we know it, is rushing. He's creeping up into his 30s. So once he's like in his 30s, he might start to take like some steps back as a quarterback overall. And I mean, I think Deontay Johnson is like 27, 28 himself. Mark Andrews is getting up there in age. It's now or never, man. They're going all in, and I don't blame them. So, do I think they're going to make the Super Bowl? Probably. They were already my pick to make it. So, Deontay getting there kind of helps out my argument a little bit more, I feel like. But we'll see. But yeah, it's now or never. If they don't win this year, then they're cooked.
Okay. So I don't think it's really going to make much of an impact, bro. I'm gonna be honest. He's not a number 1. He's arguably not a number 2. He's probably a number 3. And we all know this. If you're a number 3, what do you have to be? You have to be a guy that's reliable, and you have to be a guy who has chemistry with the quarterback. If you look at any number 3 that was successful, whether it's like Wes Welker or whether it's, Randall Cobbs of the world or, whether it's the Alan Lazards of the world, etc. If you're a number 3 and you don't really have like the talent to win one-on-one and do all these things, you either A, need chemistry with your quarterback. You need really, really good chemistry in rapport, which, obviously he's not going to with Lamar. Or B, you need to have a good feel for where you need to be in the offense. And I think coming from Carolina, I don't think that's going to be instilled in him. And so I just don't see it having much of an impact. Now, if you're a 1A receiver or a 1B, then yeah, you go there, you have immediate impact, sure. But, if you're a number 3 receiver, which I feel he is personally, if you guys disagree, that's fine. But like, for example, I think that a number 2 is, Cooper Kupp. And in my opinion, Cooper Kupp is better than Johnson. But in my opinion, Cooper Kupp is a 2. So I think he's worse than that. So if you're a 3, then you need to be a glue guy, and I don't think he could do that just yet. So I don't think it'll be much of an impact. I don't expect the Ravens to win. I thought that their season was last season, and they failed to do that. And so I just don't think, one, they're consistent enough. And more importantly, I just don't trust the quarterback. I just don't trust the quarterback in key situations to get the job done, because you can run the ball, you could have a great running attack, you could be a dual threat, but when it's third and long, fourth and long, and you need a throw, Lamar Jackson is probably the last star, because he is a star, but he's the last star that I would rely on and say, yo, go make me a play, in my opinion. So, but yeah, guys, I want to move on. I want to get into the second half of the show. We're creeping up on time already. But I want to talk a little bit about the NBA, guys. So we're going to talk all about the Nuggets and the Timberwolves. They played last night. The Timberwolves won a nail-biter, 119-116. What's your take on that game? Any player that you want to mention specifically or players? Just your take on the entire game and the players that played in that game.
2 words. Russell Westbrook. The guy shot 1 for 8. He stunk once again. He has destroyed this roster. The Nuggets are now 2-3. These guys legitimately went from championship contenders to a play-in level roster because they got Russell Westbrook. Like, that's how bad this guy is. This is how horrible his impact is. And you notice how the Nuggets are 2-3 and not 0-5? This is why I was saying he's the worst player in the NBA to have, because you cannot win with him, nor can you tank with him. You're committed to being middle of the pack because he sucks, but he's not absolutely terrible. He just sucks. Straight up. Jamal Murray played bad again. I feel like the reason why Jamal is struggling is because of the presence of Russell Westbrook being there. Like, Westbrook is coming in, taking in some of his time. Jamal never really cared about the regular season like that. He does his work in the playoffs. He's probably like, we got Russell now. I don't need to do much. So he's like fooling around, I feel like. And Westbrook stinks. He's overrating him just like majority of people do, because this is the most overrated athlete in sports history. This is all on Russell Westbrook. I'm telling you right now. That's all I had to say.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I disagree with you on the Jamal Murray, bro. I think he's been bad since last year. I mean, he was bad in the playoffs. He was bad in the playoffs against the Lakers. He just hit 2 game winners.
Yeah.
But other than that, he's been bad. Overseas, he was worse. I don't know how you could get worse, but he was. Even SGA was like going at him on Instagram. He was trolling him on Instagram. So he's been bad for like almost a year now. He's been awful. So I don't think that has to do with the presence of Russell Westbrook. I don't know if he's making it better, but I certainly know
he's
that
not making it better.
I certainly know that he didn't start it. He's been bad. But I also, so my take on the Wolves beating the Nuggets is, I mean, Anthony Edwards is just spectacular, bro. And I mean, what they're doing is they're telling Anthony Edwards take more threes. And the reason why they're doing that is because they know in the playoffs he needs to hit that shot consistently. So that's why he's taking 15, 16 threes a game. Like, in every single game that so far he's taken eight or more threes. He took 14 threes yesterday. So he was 7 of 14 from 3. So they're telling him, like, yo, just gun from 3. Because, like, we need you to have your shot down in the playoffs. And he's not a bad shooter, but he's a scorer. So, they're like, no, have your shot ready. So I like what they're doing there. I want to talk a little bit, though, about how, again, this was a bad trade for the Wolves. Julius Randle played okay. I'm not saying that. But let's talk about Rudy Gobert, bro. Did you see Christian Braun dunk on him? Guys, did you see that? Christian Braun dunked on Rudy Gobert. And then Rudy Gobert gets mad and he starts swinging at him. It's like, bro, it's not my fault you suck and I dunked on you. How's that my fault? All Christian Braun did was just dunk on him and then he's like mad and shit. Like, what the hell, bro? Like,
this guy is a 4-time defensive player of the year because he's an elite rim protector and he's letting 6'3" guards freaking dunk on him. This guy is freaking trash, bro. This is the guy that should have traded, not Karl Anthony Towns. If they kept Karl Anthony Towns and put him at the 5, that would have been so much better for them. And people are saying, well, yeah, I mean, Cat's not a great defender. Rudy Gobert is a 4-time defensive player of the year. Dude, Rudy Gobert cannot defend. He's probably the most overrated defender in NBA history. Like, dude, he's a good help defender. That's it. He's not a good one-on-one defender in the post. He's not a good one-on-one defender in the perimeter. In the playoffs, literally every single year, whether he was in Minnesota or in Utah, every single opposing team's game plan is go at Rudy Gobert one-on-one. And that's exactly why his teams kept falling short. Literally, because of him. So it's like, okay, bro, he's completely useless on offense, and now it's like, okay, even what he's supposed to be doing, he's not doing it. Like, what use do we have for this guy? They should have just got him out of there instead. They should have kept Cat and put him at the 5. And this is also another reason why they're making Edwards shoot so many threes now, because they got Randle and Gobert down there. So they're like, okay, yeah, we know what you do best is drive, but try shooting some threes, man. Like, we got no room down there. And it's like, bro, what do you mean we got no room down there? Like, we had the room. You guys just freaking traded it for less room. Like, that's basically what you guys did. Like, bro, the Timberwolves, they're a joke for that deal, bro. Like, they really are a joke.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, bro. That's exactly why I said, like, this really highlights the trade. I mean, you traded offense for potential defense. And it's like, this is by the way, this is not my words, this is what the GM said. We traded offense for defense. How did you trade offense for defense when Julius Randle's not a defender? Like, this whole notion of like Julius Randle's a defender. The game plan, guys, if you're watching these games, the game plan is to go at Julius Randle because he doesn't defend. Austin Reeves said in game 1, after the game, he said the game plan was to go at Randle because on defense, he doesn't sit down. He stands. So on defense, he doesn't get in a stance. He stands. And so it's like, that's why people just attack Randle. So it's like, if we're just going to attack Randle, we're going to attack Gobert, and there's no spacing on offense, it's just an L all the way around. So, I feel bad for Ant, bro. I genuinely feel bad for Ant. Like, Randle didn't play bad, but, the spacing is fucked, bro. Like, whenever you, like, bro, that's just like if me and you are on a team, and that's like them saying, like, yo, we're going to get somebody else in to help you out. But he's going to take the ball out of our hands, then. And he's not going to defend either. And he's not going to defend. It's like, bro, like, was this guy, was it really worth it? Even if he is better, but does he help us win? Probably not. The other guy helped us win.
The thing with Julius Randle is that, okay, you're saying you made the trade for defense. Even if you think he's even a slightly better defender than Karl-Anthony Towns, because he's not that much better defensively. Even if you think he's just a tad bit better defensively, you really think that level of defense is worth sacrificing all the offense? Like, bro, Karl-Anthony Towns is the far superior offensive player. He's also much less selfish. He was willing to play the stretch big and let Anthony Edwards do his thing, where Randle's just like taking the ball away, trying to do his thing. And Randle hasn't been bad, don't get me wrong. He's been pretty decent, and he's gonna get his stats because he's not a horrible player. Exactly. But he doesn't really contribute to winning, which is why I think the Timberwolves really fucked up trading for him.
Yeah, I agree, because it's all about fit, guys. Like, it's all about fit. Like, even if you think Randle is the better player, which I personally didn't, but if you think that Randle's the better player, it's about fit, bro. Mm-hmm. It's about how they mesh with the star. Like, Randle's the type of guy where he needs the ball to be effective, but you don't want to give him the ball. Like, he's that type of player. And so it's like, is he going to work well with another ball-dominant player? Randle can't. You're forcing Randle to take and make tough three-pointers now. And it's like, that's not his game. Could he hit it on occasion? Sure. But I don't trust it. So it's like, bro, like, it was just an out, bro. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think Randle's like, what? He's like a 35% three shooter.
Yeah, it's like average, but it's like not.
Which is like okay, I guess. But you also got to consider that he doesn't really shoot contested ones like that. Like, most of the threes he takes, they leave him open because they're not confident he's going to make it. So it's not like he's like a 35 shooter like Luka, for example, where he's taking tough step-back three-pointers because the defense isn't giving him room to breathe. Like, bro, no, he's shooting 35% basically on open catch-and-shoot shots.
Yeah, exactly. And, I know Cat shot a little bit of a worse percentage, but, take it into consideration that Cat is taking higher level degree of difficulty threes. Mm-hmm. He took a lot of like one-legged three-pointers. Like, he's that good of a shooter.
Bro, he took some logo threes too, bro.
Yeah, I mean, bro, he self-proclaimed himself as the best shooting big man of all time. So if you could confidently say that, which I don't think he is, but if you can confidently say that to people, that tells you how good of a shooter he is. So
I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, he might be the greatest shooting big. I mean, I don't know if I could really think of anybody.
I mean, I disagree for sure. Like, I think Dirk for sure. You have to give Dirk the edge, and then
that's true.
Yeah. But there were a couple other big shooters as well, but he's definitely in the conversation. So, but yeah, guys, I want to move on. I want to get into our last topic, which is Joel Embiid, guys. So again, earlier on in the year, he mentioned that he will no longer be playing in back-to-back games ever again, ever. Okay, so that's the first thing. And then now he's saying that he's done too much for the city of Philly to be treated like this.
Bro, I hate this guy. I hate this guy. Like, I really do. Like, bro, ever since this guy got drafted, all he's been saying is trust the process, trust the process, trust the process. Dude, your fans trusted it for 8 fucking years. and you guys haven't made a single Eastern Conference Finals. Like, what process is there to trust at this point? What's the process now? Repeat the same results, except this time, I'm just gonna take vacations whenever I feel like it.
Yes.
This guy made it clear already. He's never playing back-to-backs again. Sources were also saying that he's planning on taking multiple weeks off at any given time in the middle of the year. Which is obviously true. I mean, he didn't even play the first or second week of the season, and he's claiming he's injured. He's not freaking injured, dude. He's perfectly fine. Dude, you guys literally just had the off season. You guys played in the Olympics, and you were perfectly fine. You're not injured, dude. You're just taking a vacation because that's just what you feel like doing.
And he was clearly overweight on Team USA. Like, everyone said it, he was clearly overweight.
Embiid has respect from nobody. He doesn't have respect from the French team because he bailed on them to go get probably the only championship he'll ever win in his career. You don't have respect from France. You don't have respect from anybody in the NBA. All you freaking do is just flop, complain, and get injured. What? And you've done nothing for Philly. Like, you've literally done nothing. You guys haven't won a championship yet. Like, all right, you have an MVP, cool, but that's like a player award. That's not really something for the team to brag about if they don't win nothing. It's on you to get them a championship. And year after year, all you've done is just choke or get injured or make more excuses or choke again. Like, dude, you're a freaking joke at this point. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, first I'm going to get into Joel Embiid's game, and then I'm going to get into his comments because I'm going to roast Joel Embiid, okay? So the first thing about his game is I've always said I know that Joel Embiid is better than Anthony Davis, but my eyes don't tell me that. It's like the stats tell me that, but not my eyes. Like, when I watch them play, Anthony Davis is far more impactful winning-wise than Joel Embiid. Now, that might be because Anthony Davis plays with LeBron, but every time I watch the Lakers play, Anthony Davis is the best player on the team, and they find ways to win games. Okay, like that's just what I see, and it is what it is. And it's also Anthony Davis's impact on the game is just, and I know, guys, I know this isn't like an Anthony Davis thing here, but this is what we're comparing him to as the best centers in basketball. And, people unequivocally say that Joel Embiid is better than Anthony Davis, but I watched Anthony Davis in the playoffs time and time again absolutely destroy his opponent. And let's be honest, isn't this about the playoffs? Isn't this about winning championships? I know it's not everything, but isn't it something? Doesn't it count for something when one guy has a championship, one guy arguably should have won Finals MVP? A lot of people think Anthony Davis should have won the Finals MVP. The stats were definitely there. Even in runs, even in the Western Conference run 2 years ago. Do you remember that round 1 against Memphis? The dude had 9 blocks in like game 3, and then he had like 7 blocks in game 4. Like, he completely and utterly shut down Memphis from taking layups. They weren't even taking layups anymore because of Anthony Davis. So I watched that without the complaining, without the whining, without the you owe me this, without the attitude, without the gimmicks and the trust the process crap, without the taking back-to-backs off. And I'm like, bro, this guy's clearly better. And so I wanted to paint a picture for you so that you guys understand my mindset coming through here when I roast Joel Embiid, okay? Because the talent could be there, but what have you done for me when it matters? When it truly all matters, what have you done for me? I see Anthony Davis show up, and you're supposed to be way better than Anthony Davis. I mean, you guys were on the same team in the summertime, and who was better? Anthony Davis was clearly better. People could say, yeah, Joel Embiid was better. Yeah, but who had more impact on winning? If you were naming the players who were most impactful to USA winning a ring, you would choose Anthony Davis clearly over Joel Embiid. Anthony Davis was a top 5 reason why they won. Mm-hmm. So, like, bro, like, that's what I'm comparing it to, where I'm saying, like, yo, this guy, how does he feel he's done too much for Philly to be, what have you done for Philly? You haven't even had one memorable postseason run. Not to mention an Eastern Conference appearance or even a Finals appearance. Just one memorable playoff run. I'll give you this. Do we even remember one memorable playoff game of Joel Embiid? One game.
We literally don't.
I don't remember one playoff game. that Joel Embiid was like, yo, he's that dude. I don't remember, bro. So, like, bro, for him to say this is absolutely ridiculous. It's ludicrous, bro. Like, if AD was saying it, I would shit on AD, don't get me wrong. But I would be like, damn, at least he had fucking 9 blocks against Memphis. And that we all remember that series. We all remember the series that the postseason run AD had in the bubble. And a lot of people think he should have won Finals MVP. So it's like, he could say that. I would disagree with him, but I could see where he was coming from if he could say that. But Joel Embiid doesn't even have not to mention he doesn't have a ring, never has a finals appearance, never has an Eastern Conference Finals appearance. He never has memorable moments in the postseason. He doesn't even have a memorable game. So, bro, like, for you to say this is absolutely ridiculous. And like Pete eloquently said, 8 years you've been telling us trust the process. And what has it gotten us? Absolutely nowhere. And so he should be ashamed of himself by saying this. He should be ashamed of himself from saying that he never wants to play in a back-to-back game ever. There's a 40-year-old man, the oldest man in the NBA in Los Angeles, and they asked him about playing in a back-to-back game. Do you know what he said?
He said, I'm playing all 82
He said
games.
the goal is to play all 82.
And that's how
The
it
goal
should
is,
be.
and he's the oldest player in the league.
Bro, I don't know if you've seen this or not, but when Joel Embiid made those comments about, not wanting to play back-to-backs or taking multiple weeks off, Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce were actually talking about it. And Kevin Garnett was like, what do you mean you don't want to play? The job calls for 82 games. Like, what the hell is this shit? Like, the one thing about this generation, in general, like, I think our current generation, don't get me wrong, I think it's the most talented generation that we've had overall in basketball, but definitely the softest at the same time. Like, bro, you got guys getting finger cuts and then they're out multiple weeks. Like Kawhi Leonard, for example, he's already missing games, and I don't even know what the hell's wrong with him. Joel Embiid
cut his finger.
Joel Embiid is claiming that he's injured, but in reality,
injured,
we know he's not injured. He just doesn't want to play. It's like, bro, like, this shit is just a joke, bro. Like, back in the day, bro, guys were playing 82 games even banged up. Like, they weren't as good as these guys, but they were at least, like, fighting and putting into effort. Like, these guys got, like, no fight in them, no passion. I don't know what it is, bro. Maybe it's because they make so much money nowadays that they don't really care no more. Because back in the day, they wouldn't make this much money. A lot of them had
second jobs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So maybe back then it was like this because they weren't making that much money compared to today. I don't know what it is, but this generation just seems like they lack a lot of fight and passion, in my opinion. They have the talent, but not the other two things that I mentioned.
And I think now what we need to do is tell players like Joel Embiid that's trying to say, I'm never going to play a back-to-back ever again. You know what they should say? No problem. We 20% of our games, I think it is, are on back-to-backs. No problem. You don't want to play in those games? No problem.
20%
give us the 20% back
exactly.
of your fucking contract.
Exactly.
Because this is utterly ridiculous, bro.
That's
like, for him to say that. Imagine if we could say, you know what? I don't want to work back-to-back days. I'm just not going to work and I get paid. I'm just not going to work. Or we would get fired immediately.
And mind you, when they play games, they work for 2.5 to 3 hours. We're all working like 8+ hour shifts, bro. So imagine us saying, nah, it's all good. Just suffer for 8 hours without me. But I still want to get paid, though. Don't get me wrong. I still want to get paid. Bro, cut the pay and you'll see how these guys come and fucking play.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. So it's like, all right, bro, no problem. 20% of the games are back-to-backs. You don't want to play in those? No problem. Just give us the check. Or we'll fine you for not playing those games. No problem, bro.
You'll see him. You'll see him play then.
Yeah. So, bro, like it's just utterly ridiculous, bro. And it's like for him to have this like, and he's always been this way. He's always had like this attitude. Like that's why every single star that's played with him left. Every single star that's played, like if every single star that played with you left, it's not everybody else. It's you, bro. Like the same thing with Russell Westbrook. Like, bro, if you keep getting bounced around, is it everyone else or is it you?
Exactly.
Like, so Phillies, bro, Joel Embiid might be at the point where he's untradeable. He really might be at, like, bro, if you tell me I can have Joel Embiid, but he's never going to play on a back-to-back, so he's missing 20% of the season there. He's going to miss probably, at the minimum, another 20% because he's injured. That's almost 50% of the season he's going to miss. And that's crossing my fingers that he's healthy in the postseason. Along with him having this nasty ass attitude, like Philly should be grateful. The way that I'm getting treated is crazy. For him to have this like nonchalant fucking attitude is utterly ridiculous. I'm not trading for this shit.
I'm not either.
I'm not trading for this. I don't care who I am. Nah, count me out. I'm no way, bro. So, but yeah, guys, I want to move on. I want to get into the end of the show, guys. We're a little past time here. We thank the people. If you made it this far during the video, guys, we appreciate you guys. But I want to get into our big announcement, guys. So, we want you guys to know that we hear you guys. All right, man? We hear you guys. We hear you guys, man. And we're going to do a little change up of the show, guys, because we think that in doing this show now for 2.5 going on 3 months, we realize that there's really a lack of the truth, bro. There really is a lack of the truth. And, there's a lack of knowledge that's being spread out there. And we want to give that to you, man. Like in the beginning, guys, as you guys know, we prided ourselves on being a diverse podcast. We gave you guys the Monday show, the Wednesday show, the Friday show. It was Money Mondays. It was, politics on Wednesday, and it was dating Friday. Obviously the spirit of Susan caught up to us, and the spirit of Susan is still here, bro. And we're still fighting it every day, guys. But we feel that, we need to bring some of this shit back, man. We need to bring some not really edgy or hardcore, but just some truth back. We got to keep it PG. Some truth back, guys.
Yeah, okay? we noticed that you guys just really like when we talk about things other than sports as well. So we figured we'll bring it to you guys, but in a more PG tone. Obviously, we're not going to speak on politics or anything like that. That's what we have Rumble for. But, just some other things in life, and we put in like a PG tone. Like we're not like, harassing any dudes out there or any women out there, because that's when Susan haunts us.
Yeah, exactly, guys. So we're going to keep it very PG. But again, we want to give you guys the truth. It's not going to be the uncensored truth, unfortunately. If you guys want the raw, uncensored truth, rumble.com, Just Keep Up Podcast, guys. Please, please, please give us a follow there, man. Because that's where, if you guys like us here, you guys are really going to like us on Rumble. So go check us out there. But yeah, guys, we're going to do a little change up of the show, guys. So we're going to keep our sports Mondays the exact same. So we're going to have our longest show on Monday. We're going to be talking about all sports, all recap of Sunday. So that show doesn't change. We're going to change the show for Wednesdays, guys, okay? So on Wednesdays, we're going to call it Casual Wednesdays, okay, guys? So on Casual Wednesdays, we're going to bring a topic or a couple topics, and we're just going to yap, and we're just going to talk about it, guys. I'm not going to have my notes, not going to have anything. It's just going to be, if you're a woman or a guy out there, it's just going to be us just chit-chatting. All right, guys? So, just something to yap about. So, we noticed that, you guys do like when we just talk about, our mind and what's going on in the world and things like that. We are going to keep it PG, but we do want to bring that show, that free-flowing show to you guys. And then let us know in the comments as well, guys, some things that you want us to cover. If you want us to talk about, a topic that, is close to you, or you want us to talk a little bit about religion or have a debate on whatever you guys are thinking, like comment, let us know what you guys want us to talk about on this Casual Wednesday, because it's going to be a free for all. Anything that you want to talk about, we're going to talk about it. And then on Fridays, it's going to be Prediction Friday / Debate Friday. So it's going to be, our weekly predictions, whether it be basketball or it's going to be football now. But once that ends, it'll be basketball, or it'll be heated debate Fridays. Okay, guys. So that's the fucking update, bro. It's going to be a new and improved channel, guys. So we're going to have our Sports Mondays. We're going to have our Casual Wednesdays. And then we're going to have our Prediction and Debate Fridays. So, guys, we hear you, man. We hear you guys. And we're improving the podcast every day, guys. So that was the big announcement. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. It was a jam-packed episode. We talked about a lot. We went over our featured story, which was the Jets win and the Garrett Wilson absolutely jump man. He had a jump man insane catch. We went over Are the Jets Back? We went over Deontay Johnson and the trade to the Ravens. We went over the NBA. We went over Nuggets and the Timberwolves. We talked a little bit about how bad that trade was with Rudy Gobert. And then we went over Joel Embiid. We shitted on Joel Embiid, so W there. And then we talked about our big announcement, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show, but I want to move on. I want to get to the end of the show. I hope you guys enjoyed it, man. We're excited to, bring you guys the show here on Saturday. We'll be back again with our usual Sports Monday show. It's going to be a jam-packed episode. We're going to have a lot to talk about. We're going to have a lot to break down from the NFL. And, again, guys, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys, love and support. We see it. We hear it. And we're going to make massive improvements to the podcast. But do you have anything before we end the show?
No.
All right, guys. Yeah, so it was a great show, guys. We'll be back to you guys on Monday with a banger episode. Yeah. All right, guys. Peace.